What's up, guys? It's your boy Kids coming back to you guys with a little bit of a tier list. I've done something like this a little bit previously, but I realized I haven't done something like this in a long time. So what we started with is some of my favorite characters. The first part of this list are characters that I deem as top tier. There's going to be 3 different tiers. Okay, top tier, really good characters. The medium tier, characters that are pretty good. If you play with them, you get to use their abilities, you learn them. They're going to be excellent characters, great for competitive play. And the bottom tier is just the borderline unusable. You probably shouldn't use them, but honestly, it's fine. And then a subtle reminder for all of these character abilities as we talk about any of the characters being good. Any and all of the abilities are going to be trumped by shooting a gun, unloading the whole clip into a character, and just walking away alive. That is the king, the best thing that you can possibly do in this game. So let's get into it. The first section, all of these characters are characters that break symmetry inside of the game. Now, it's a weird concept, but let's say that every single person shooting, they're doing the same amount of damage, they're walking around the same speed, things like that. What are characters that break that symmetry, that give you that extra 25 damage, the extra 25 health, the extra bullet in your gun, or the extra heavy mag, things like that? All of these characters in the front break symmetry in one way or another. An easy example we're talking about, and I have the video here for Ashe, is her movement in and movement out of a fight allows you to push a fight faster than normal and leave a fight faster than normal, as well as having her snare, which allows you to trap a person for a good couple seconds and create that extra time. Seer, again, also another great character to break symmetry inside of a fight. You can use his scan ability to break a revive or a heal, and if a person's deciding to do that heal instead of another action that they need to do, it's an extra couple seconds inside of that fight that you've gained just by using an ability. Now, some of the interesting things, I have a handful of the defensive characters up at front as well. They break symmetry in the way of how you would engage with them as a team. When you walk up to a team that has defensive characters, or you walk into a building that's trapped, it changes the way that you have to engage with them, and giving the defensive team usually some advantage just in the way of damage by placement. Like you walking into a certain area would give you damage, whereas they won't have said damage. Really interesting, fun stuff. And then, Revenant is an interesting one. I'd peg him as a top tier character because as soon as he was introduced, he warped an entire competitive season meta. Really wasn't changed that much. His abilities still work fantastically. I still enjoy playing him. I still see other people enjoying playing him, and I think that that extra bit of health, again, it just breaks symmetry in a wonderful way. It's an extremely powerful amount of health. It's something like you get about 100 to 150 plus. So it's quite something. And yeah, Wattson, again, breaking symmetry in a couple of ways, giving your team extra health, that little extra 25 from the ultimate, as well as holding down structures, being able to do damage to characters. If they kind of that proximity damage, if you walk into a certain area, you'll get a little bit of extra damage and the other team won't. So there's a little bit of multiple things there that you get symmetry on. It's really nice. Oh, and also the abilities go a little bit faster. So the abilities going faster, that's kind of a triple layer symmetry there for Wattson. Really, really nice. And then, this season, this is one of the first seasons that I've pegged one of the new characters as being one of the best. And I really feel like the nuance, the niche for Catalyst being really good is the ability to lock a door. When you walk up on someone and they just lock the door, you have to hit it 4 or 5 something times, use an entire nade to go through it. Nades still, I guess, are normal, but that extra bit of time is really, really huge. So, yeah, and then also, so now we are inside of the middle tier. We have exited the high tier. This is right where you're going to find characters that are good characters, but it really takes a person to play with them, to use their abilities, learn their abilities, have the nuances down, or maybe even, you're playing a Bloodhound, you want to play a Bangalore on your squad. Well, now Bloodhound pick is a significantly better pick because you have the Bangalore on your side, or a Caustic, something like that. Gibby is one of those ones where I don't know. I feel like his size, like just the ability to hit him, and as players get better in the game,
and one clipping becomes easier and easier, and the skill gaps kind of fade into you're either one clipping or not. I think Gibby just ends up at that really nice, comfortable middle ground. I think that if his niche play is that bubble play, if you get the bubble play down, if you do good ultimates, I think he turns to be an exceptionally powerful character. I'm a little bit in the middle with him. He's one of he's one of my favorite characters. So a little here and there. And I remember in the beginning of the seasons, I had pinged Pathfinder as one of the most powerful characters that was in the game, because his ability to scan a beacon would warp the entire game around that. I mean, you could literally land on a beacon as soon as you land, and you would know what the final circle was. Like, you could just walk to the spot where the last 5 teams are and just sit there until the end game. I mean, it would warp the entire game around one ability use. But now, a bunch of people have it, so I think he's just comfortably in the middle. Bangalore, another one of these ones, super fun. One of my mains. I got off of playing Gibraltar for a while and just started loving doing Bangalore for the extra movement and the airstrikes. Just something feels so good about running into explosions and airstrikes after throwing one. I don't know, but yeah. Ooh. A little bit of a coffee burp for me, but now we're into some Mirage. Mirage, I would say is one of the best 1v1 characters, just straight up to win a 1v1 with someone. Gibraltar is also a really good one because of the arm shield, but there's something about the Mirage tokens being as authentic and good as they are. He's gotten some subtle buffs over the time of him out, and some major ones that have really helped his kit become very well-rounded. I think he's a solid competitor for, maybe he should be in the top section. I'm not so sure. I don't play as much of him nowadays. Octane is another one of those ones. He's a great movement legend. A fantastic character. I probably have the most kills of any character on Octane because he's great to use. I'll pop on him in the morning so I can just run around a little faster, not worry about stuff, and so for me, he's one of my favorite characters, but I don't really see him kind of being you should pick him. He's not like the best. I don't know. He's just so in the middle, right? Oh yeah, and then Rampart. So Rampart, this is one of those ones inside of the meta call stuff. I'm saying that she might be one of the most played characters inside of ranked meta this season, just because of how the map is made. I don't think that her abilities are bad. I think they're fantastic, especially with the updates to her, the turret doing more damage, things like that. So I think she's in a great place to possibly be the best legend, but right now I think she's at that comfortable middle where everything's pretty okay. Horizon, again, this is another one of those characters that is super cool. You could use her ultimate, that niche play of you could use her ultimate plus 2 nades, and there's so many situations that just kills an entire team. It's really interesting, but it does take a lot of niche play to learn how to use her, and then where her movement ability really applies, because she has some movement ability, but she doesn't really have any forward movement. She's one of those characters that does have that the ability to travel laterally, but just not as much lateral, parallel. I don't even know if that's the right word. We're just going to go past it. But yeah, Horizon's a really great character for niche play. And in high tier situations, 2 nades plus an ultimate. Oh, that is some good stuff. Oh my, yeah, Fuse. Oh my gosh. Dude, I remember when Fuse came out, I was actually mad because I thought the character wasn't that creative. I didn't really think that the concept was good. I even kind of took a step back from Apex, but dude, when I came back and played Fuse, I realized that his abilities as subtle area control and just passive damage, especially when you hit someone with the knuckle clusters are just so good. You can harass people from long ranges in fights that you just have no business in, but you can just do it casually for free, easily, because of the knuckle clusters. It's just so nice. But there's a lot of situations where I just feel like Fuse is lacking something. Not so sure, but I really like him. Valkyrie, another one of these really exceptional movement characters. I don't personally, this is more of a personal one. I feel like a lot of people, Valkyrie's definitely a very good character because she gets you out of say choke points, flight's great, the scan's great, the tactical is good for damage around rocks and stuff. I just I don't really enjoy her that much. There's just something about the way her abilities play out that I tend to find her more in the middle for me. I feel like it's more of a personal thing. Alright, but now we're into some Mad Maggie. Mad Maggie, again, so much fun. I find myself in casual lobbies having really good games, just rocking out, but I can't find myself playing her inside of ranked. And I'm not sure why. Again, this is one of those characters that I pinged inside of the ranked meta to point out this season as possibly one of the most played characters as a counterplay to Catalyst. So it's just one of those things. I'm really interested to see over the year how the counterplay will work, and if she's actually going to end up used. Now, Newcastle. Oh my. Okay, so Newcastle. I jumped into playing Newcastle thinking he was going to suck. I kind of was like, I'm a Lifeline main. Like, there's no way Newcastle's going to be good, right? Like, but as I played him, there was these little niche moments that kept happening that I was like, you know what? Newcastle's pretty freaking good. Like, there was all these little moments where I used his ultimate to get away from a fight, turned around, blasted someone. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, he's pretty decent, you know. So I feel like the more I play Newcastle, the more that I'll get a little bit of that niche play in him. Now, yes, Vantage. I'm a sniper. One of my favorite characters ever. I love Vantage. Like, just the little bat, everything about the sniper, just everything. Everything. But the worst thing about Vantage is too many people playing her. The only way that Vantage gets to be super high tier is if everyone has one. Right, it's really similar to the idea of the charge rifle, and but she's so much fun. So she's all the way kind of at the bottom there. So, and then yeah, so now we're into the part of the list of the characters that kind of just suck. I'm gonna say it. I've been saying it forever. Okay, I love Wraith. I love the other character here. They're actually two of some of my favorite characters in the game, but just statistically, I want to talk about these characters. Wraith for the longest time, people have said is fantastic. But really had just been lacking that movement. Her tacticals don't quite. Oh my gosh, we're so out of time. We're just going to extend it probably. This is one of those ones I want to rant about these characters a little bit more in depth about like the mathematics and the in-betweens. And I have some videos talking about them, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to give them each their special section so I can talk about them a little bit more in depth without just saying, oh, they're bad, here's the math, and then, yeah. So, hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for the second section where I talk about characters that are just not that good and possible, buffs, things like that. It's been your boy Kids. Peace.